Work hours and pay. Non-exempt employee working at least 3.5 hours in a day is entitled to a 10-minute paid break for each 4 hours worked or a major fraction thereof. An employee who works more than 6 hours is entitled to a second rest break. An employee working more than 10 hours is entitled to a third rest break. Employees working more than 5 hours must take a 30-minute unpaid meal break before their 5th hour of work. Employees working more than 10 hours must take a second 30-minute unpaid meal break before their 10th hour of work. Employees must clock in and out for meal breaks. Meal periods are time without pay. Employees are entitled, encouraged, and expected to take all meal periods and rest periods provided under this policy and not waived. Employees who feel they were not provided a meal period or rest period that complies with this policy should inform their supervisor or manager, and, if not corrected, the Human Resources Department immediately. Employees who work no more than 6 hours in a day may waive the first meal period. Employees who work no more than 12 hours in a day may waive the second meal period if they took their first meal period. Calling in sick requires all employees to notify their supervisor no later than 30 minutes after the time the employee was scheduled to report for work. Certain departments might have their own instructions for calling in sick as to whom they should notify. You may follow that, however, it is the policy of APHCV that you notify your supervisor as well. If the supervisor is not available, the employee is to contact another manager, HR, or the CEO. Messages left with coworkers are an unacceptable notification of absence. To receive holiday pay, the employee must work the regularly scheduled workdays before and after the holiday, or receive prior approval from his or her supervisor to take the time off. Non-exempt employees who work during a paid holiday are paid at 1/2 times their regular base rate for all hours worked up to 12 hours, double time for hours worked in excess of 12 hours, in addition to receiving the holiday pay. List of holidays can be found on the Hub in the HR Announcements section of the HR Department site. Temporary employees, full and part, must have been employed for 30 days. Full-time, eligible to receive 8 hours. Part-time, eligible to receive prorated portion of 8 hours. Casual, not eligible for holiday pay. APHCV pays its employees every 2 weeks. It's approximately 5 working days, but in no event more than 7 calendar days after the end of each pay period. A schedule of the actual pay periods and pay days is posted on the Hub in the HR Announcements section of the HR Department site.